Hi there and welcome to my channel. This is Kate in Australia in the Journal Nest. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm truly hoping that you're in your happy place, that you've got some coffee or tea or whatever makes you just feel good when you're stitching away or crocheting, because today is certainly one of my favorite times. It's early in the morning. I feel like my jet lag has lulled, so I am up and at it early. So thank you for being here with me. I wanted to take you on a bit of a journey today, and we're going to start with the nest and the idea that I've had that I need more nests. Of course, Kate needs more nests, and that I have begun the project of the prompt 6, which is a vessel. This is my nest vessel, which I'll do some slow stitching on to start. And I think we actually might start with that, and then I can talk to you about what I have been thinking about and noticing. And while I'm talking to you about that, you might like to have a look in my nest up here and start wondering about what on earth is Kate going to talk about when she gets into her crocheting. So I've got a couple of needles here, and I'm just literally going to, I'm learning a little bit more. This is Appleton that I got from a op shop, of course. And I'm just going to do some cantha stitches to soothe my soul, to get you settled, and go from there. So how are you feeling? How's the weekend going so far? I could probably literally say that I feel like I'm on fire in my head because I'm home, and this week ahead, because I did so much work last week, is one that I can have some time just to concentrate on making. Of course, doing some other things, but compared to the last 2 weeks of commitments and lots of, I don't know about you, but a lot of my energy goes in thinking about planning my projects. This is work, and I absolutely love being in that flow. I found that my stitching, as I've said quite often now, and you're probably bored of hearing me, but the stitching I'm finding is such a lovely way of not only being mindful, but just getting into that creative flow. So this nest, you can see it's like a snippet roll, but in Kate's true form. It has lots of ends out, and I was thinking that I'm feeling like that when I analyze a nest in nature, it is uneven. It's got little bits of different tweaks, you know, and even magpies pick up all sorts of other objects to go in their nest. It's not, you know, usual to have exactly the same. Oh, this is a bit thick here. Oh, bits and pieces. And the other thing that I was thinking about is feathers, and when the little chicks are born. So very much, I think this is a feathery nest that I'm doing here. So just turn this corner, and I didn't really enjoy how thick I've got all of these layers, but that's part of the fun. Now, a number of you have already shared what you're up to with your prompt 6, and others are still thinking. And as long as we're just supporting each other and thinking about it, that's how thrilled must Rachel and Sarah be that, you know, they started this thing, and now look, we wait with absolutely bated breath for their prompts to come out. So well done, girls, on behalf of all of us. because such a beautiful connection. Isn't it? We all talk about them as our best friends. And I know, as I've said to you before, I truly feel that we're in a band of friends here. I better check that you can see me. Yep, you can. So what about the contrast of these neutral colours against my Daisy Joy crochet blanket? I'm going to start it talking about crocheting in a little minute. And what I've been noticing, but for the meantime, it's like a long time since I've just been able to do row after wonky row. And it is the quiet of the Monday morning long weekend here, which is always such a bonus. So I'm hoping that you can see now the detail of this original hand quilting, this bit of vintage apron from the States. This was an unfinished embroidery. I think this is a bit of Rachel's fabric. And now I'm just going to zoom along here because this thread is still doing well for me. And I suppose on this one, I am going to try and limit myself to the layering and just a lot of cantha or running stitch. Never know when to call it one and not the other. So it's a feathery layered nest. And we're coming up towards this beautiful vintage tablecloth and a little bit of crochet, and that'll segue me into what I wanted to talk to you about and do today together. I did say I ordered this. I actually bought it off Marketplace. I ordered it off Marketplace before I went away, and it was waiting on my doorstep when I arrived home. So that is an absolute treat. Okay. Now this is Kate's absolutely random direction. I can't even recap where I've been because we sort of went all over the place. But this is my idea of just traveling with the needle in sort of a way that you don't have to worry about it because it all comes out. Lots of layers underneath. I've already learned, actually I was going to tell you about that this is just one layer of quilting around the side, and for my colourful nest, which no doubt might even get started today, me racing through all the things that I want to do, I'm going to line it with wool because this will be a bit floppy, and it is about the learning as we do things. Okay. Hope you're stitching away, or maybe you've got the sound turned off. It's a little bit tough, but I'll see if I can just go on the top here. Yeah, that's all right. Sort of like threading a ribbon through that crochet. Okay, let's finish this off. Okay, pin needle. Pin needles, that's what? Pin cushion. Okay, so this is what inspired me today, is to think about this combination of crochet and doilies that we say goes so well with each other. I mean, this is embryonic, but I was gathering my bits and pieces together yesterday. I tidied the nest and I couldn't help but notice the variety that comes on the edges of doilies and laces, and how many different patterns are made up of the one thing. And by that, I keep coming back to, if you know how to chain and some double crochet or cotton, oh, excuse me, I'm getting a little bit hoarse with excitement, you can make endless patterns, as lacy as you like. And there's just some basic understandings behind this, and we're going to explore some of those right now, because I was thinking my Daisy Joy is exactly the same stitches but coming out in a completely different way. And what is Kate actually talking about? Once you understand your basics, you can build any sort of structure or pattern that can enhance. Now obviously I'm not going to put pink onto this one, but I'm going to just spend some time, and I'm going to do it in pink so that I can take you through my reasoning, and I will make some of my own to go on this nest. I mean, of course they're my own, but you know what I mean, own original pieces. So what's Kate going to do? Now, quite a lot of you have been saying you're getting your crochet hooks out. Some of you haven't done crochet before, you knitters. It doesn't matter what you do, except Kate's. Of course, oh, there. I was going to say I've misplaced my crochet hook, but of course it was there, obviously. Okay, so let's review as we always do and go through our basic stitches. There's all sorts of magic circles. I hang on to this end. So we're going to do 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to slip that in, the 4th chain, to the bottom chain. And that makes us a little hole, a little circle. Now, that's exactly the same as the center of our daisy square here. The difference now is we've got so many choices. So my choice is going to be that I want to start to do something a bit more lacy to match, and again, I'm not going to use the pink on here, but to match the idea of the crochet. So here's going to be our first difference. We're going to do 3 chains, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do 2 more because I want to make a lacy center. So the 3 stand for a treble and the 2 stand for the gap in between. Now this is the little hit and miss. You have to sort of find the center of the circle and just push in. And this will not look neat on here, so I'll do it again. Oops. Let's just undo that stitch. And that's what I love about crochet. She says, yeah. So let's go back to the beginning, because I want to show you, I keep saying wanna, that's terrible, Kate. I want to show you that you can be as creative as you want, and if it doesn't look right, you just unpull it and start again. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 makes our little ring circle that we're going to put all our stitches in. Oh, it's shaky again. What's that coffee? Does that do it to you? Okay, slip stitch. I'm making such a mess of this. I could have just made this before and saved you, but this is about Kate, as I always say, being authentic and making it look harder than it is, Kate. Stop it. I have to just bring it closer to me, everyone. Just give me a minute. Truly. Third time. It's perseverance, isn't it? Just look at those beautiful crocheted edges while I'm doing this. Yeah, so this is like the foundation stitches, and they are the hardest to do. And I'm just being shy because I want to get it actually working. So forgive me for not having my fingers in, because all I have to do is get this treble done and I'll be right. Yep. Okay, here we go. So I've done 5 chains and 1 treble. Now I'm going to do 2 chains and another treble into the ring, which is here. Just have to trust me for this. So it's 2 and 2. Think of all those people hand doing their crochet around their doilies. So patient. So we just have a look where we're going. Yep. It's not perfect, but it's going to tell the story. Apologies for making this look harder than it is, but we will get there. So basically 4 chains, and then we're going to do 8 spaces. Starting to feel stronger. So yeah, just got to persevere on the foundation rows, and before you know it, it'll be going so fast. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go 8. Join them up to the top of the 3 there. Gosh, stop shaking fingers. Okay, then we're going to do 3 chains to simulate another treble. We're going to do 2 other trebles. Okay, and now we're going to have some fun. We are going to make in fact, I don't want to do that yet. I want to make another row of lacy, and then we'll start filling them in. So 3 trebles and 3 chains, so that's going to make a mock treble. Let's do 2 more chains, and now we're going to just go in the gaps all the way around. a chain, 2 treble in the gaps. So last time I showed this along a straight line, and now we're going around a circle, and we're going to turn that circle into a square, and it's really, as if you are a crocheter, you know that's the basis of granny squares, cushion covers, whatever you like to make. And it just makes something solid so quickly. Okay, so we're going around the edges, probably thinking I should have done 3. Yeah, let's learn together. See, I think that's catching a little, no, I think that's okay. No, I think it's 3. So, because I'm making this up, and what I'm trying to say is just feel free to experiment. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chains. Then we're going to go into this hole with a treble. Then 1, 2, 3, into. Isn't Kate being brave? I mean, truly, look where I've come to with shaky hands at 8 o'clock in the morning on a holiday. I'm filming myself crochet. And that's because I know I'm amongst friends and that we're all at different points. But I do like this idea of shared making. Here we go. This is looking beautiful and lacy, which is what I wanted it to look like. This is where we just start to have some fun. I mean, the other idea I thought of, some of you are saying you haven't got access, you can't find doilies or crochet bits. If you can do some chain and treble, you can make your own. 1, 2, 3, and here we go into the 3rd chain. Let's stab it. I missed it. 1, 2, 3. Stop the silly hands. Truly, it's not this hard. It's just I'm now so conscious. Okay, so there we are. Can you see that? So it's really, you could keep going round and round and round, or you could stop there and say that's the perfect size from the side of my vessel. But I want to take it one more step because I will actually use this on a colourful piece of embroidery. So let's go up here, 3, and we're going to do 2 more trebles there into that space. And I know I'm going fast because, but as people tell me, you can slow it down if you want to, or if this isn't relevant to you, you can just speed forward. But I want to turn this circle into a square so it becomes a little motif. And once you know how to do this, you are off and running. So this is a variegated cotton and a 3.5 needle hook. And now we're going to start this idea of a true sort of shell model, if you like. So when you put 3 crochets into the 1 gap, like this, it starts to become solid. And I'm using 2 chain, I'm using 1 chain between, I think, Kate. And I'm just going to show you how you turn it into a square. But if you wanted a circle, you could have just cast, taken the thread off the hook. So here we go. We're going to start making a corner over here. That's half, 2 sets of 3, and this is going to be a corner. So we're going to go into this same hole and put 2 chains between it. I was thinking the other day that it just suddenly came into my mind that I knitted myself, I crocheted myself a bikini halter top way back. I just made the patterns up as I went. So that's going to be a corner. So we're going to do another one of those. And I just tend to look, I should say, there are so many free patterns out there, but I use multiples of 2, 4, 8, 16 type of thing, and that works always. So we had 4 chains, then we had 8 gaps, and now we're going to have 4 sets of shells across a row. Hang on, I just need to do that bit again. Of course, you don't have to be crocheting when I'm crocheting. See, I was talking too much. I put the 2 into the same hole when it's supposed to be 2 across. But see how quick you can unpick. Come on, Kate. So 1, 2, that's it. A corner now here. No, I was right. Goodness. I'm tempted to start again, but I mean the video, but I'm not going to do that. You know me, it's as it comes out. But talking and making up a pattern maybe is something I need more practice at. I'm just going to go fast and stop talking, and then you'll see what I'm talking about, or not talking about. Okay, so it's time to make another corner. And to get us around the corner, we just put a bonus little chain in. There we go. After all of that. So don't take that as an instructional. Take that as an inspiration to do your own thing. So I need 2 chains there to join it up to this group here. All right, so there we've got the beginnings of a little motif that can be used in any way. If you wanted it smaller, use a different hook and some crochet cotton. And you can just grow it and grow it, or if you want it, and this is what I want to do, I'm just actually standing up to do this. I want to do some really lacy hoops loops is the word, okay, loops, to make it easier to sew on. So I've just done 6 chains there, and now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. That'll sort me. No, I need 4, 5, 6, and now I'm just slip stitching it into the loops like that. And so here we are. We're going to have a lacy pattern all round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is just chains, sorry, and slip stitch into there. And I'll do one more, and then I would love to hear how you're going with yours. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6 into there. Okay, so the idea, like all of these bits, you can analyze any crochet edging and copy it. So I can see that they're probably 6 or 7 or 8 chains. They've got some double crochets and they've got some trebles in there. So if you're interested in making your own bits and pieces, I hope that's been encouraging. I haven't got anything colourful to add that on, but the idea is everything goes together. All right, so after that, I wanted, so look at this one. This is an old, what's that doing there? This is a doily with a little flower on top. And when I do mine in the natural colour, it will go there. But seeing I'm not going to do that today, let's have a look at how we can make our own more interesting layer upon layer. So in this nest, just going around, it's about adding interest. So there's some of that white worked lace there, and that feels like it'd like to go there. So I think we'll use the Appleton again. I like this wool, so we're going for a feathered organic look. Now many of you might be looking at this and going, that is certainly not my aesthetic. Totally understand this, and it's a step quite far for Kate, isn't it? Like in terms of I've just buried the needle further, everyone. That's because I tidied the nest. And this one does want to go through. I've lost everything. Scissors. Let's cut this end, and if it doesn't go through, I'll use something else. Well, let's use this lovely I'm going to try and find it. I did make a whole shawl myself out of this filigree trebles following a pattern, and I suddenly remembered I might have it somewhere in this house. Okay, what are we doing to finish off? We're going to add some layers, feathers. I'm thinking thought like that originally, but I don't want to waste. Okay, let's go like that. Lots and lots of layers. We're back to just doing a gentle slow stitch in here. Calm Kate's Racing Crochet Heart. There we go. So this hasn't taken long, and which is so much fun. I was suddenly dreaming of having lots and lots of different nests. But I do want to start a completely, I've got to, you might see me quite often this week, I've got to finish my series of journals, and people want to purchase some of those, and I need to get organised. And what else do I want to do? I want to start a needle book, I think. I've been seeing so many lovely ones, and the one in my horsewhip I just did so quickly, it's just, and I'd love to do one of those. To do all sorts of things. So watch out, that might be in Kate Can't Stop Stitching, especially now she's home. There we go. Now so this is really fine crochet. Couldn't, oh, it's, would that still be called? Yeah, that's it there. So basically, stay tuned for the reveal of a few nests that are vessels. Please share what you're doing. I realise there's a Facebook group now where people put their photos up. I only found that last night. So I will be having a look at what everyone else is making. We'll just go to this thread's end. And then just look at where we've been. Well, there we are. The needles come unthreaded, so that's probably a good point to stop. So, quick recap. I was inspired. Oh, that's a beautiful French from the States. Inspired to have a look at different edging of crochets and to think about using those in my vessel nest, which is, it's actually going to sit very nicely, I think, on my, let's have a little play with that, putting my bits and pieces in when I make my journals. Yeah, and see, that's, it's not too floppy. I will put wool in my next one. And then that led me to share with you how we can make our own medallions and motifs. So there we are. Thank you so much. Oh, look at that. I'm ending with some pink, even though, see, that's what's calling to me. I will be doing pink in the flash of an eye, I think. So there we are. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm wishing you a day full of blessings and smiles and love. Bye for now.